The truth is that it's very hard. There are quite a lot of things that people don't really talk about when you are manifesting in general, but also when you are manifesting your SP. It's so great to manifest all these things. You start seeing opportunities that show up and money show up, and your SP is texting you, and you maybe get like a job promotion and all of these things, and the 3D start really changing, and it's so great. But something that Neville talks about and that so many people forget is that there needs to be a death before you step into a new you. And that can be so triggering. It can be so difficult because the subconscious has been wired to stay in this comfort zone where you are right now, where all of the things, even if you don't like them, are comfortable for you. They feel safe because you are just used to those things. Like I always say, you don't manifest the thing that you want, you manifest what you believe in. It all comes from your subconscious. But to change those beliefs, you have to change who you are. Changing the beliefs is going to change who you are. And by extension, is also going to change everything around you. That means even the things that you love right now. So I see a lot of people that they get so excited for all the good things and they start seeing the changes and they're like, this is great. But suddenly you get to a certain level and then your friends no longer align. Your job no longer aligns. And for you to be able to welcome in what's going to take you to the next thing, you have to let go of the past. And that doesn't just mean that you let go of past experiences and you rewrite those like Neville talks about. It also means that you actually physically have to let go of things. If you are manifesting a mansion, it means that at some point you're going to need to leave the house that you live in. Even if it has a leak in the bathroom, it's just become your comfort zone. It also means that maybe your best friend just doesn't align anymore. That maybe the country that you live in just doesn't align anymore because you are manifesting your dream love of your life and they are maybe in a different country. And you've just been feeling this pull to go to that country. You don't really know why. And you follow the nudges. Like Neville calls it, the bridge of incident. You keep following the next step and the next step, and it leads you to the thing that you want, to that 3D really changing. A lot of the manifestation coaches out there talk about the end result. But what happens in the middle? Because you are changing your self-concept, that means that maybe you just don't have anything to talk about with your friends anymore. That maybe things will start going well and then they get triggered and they don't want to be your friends anymore. And yes, the law of assumption can 100% help with this. You just have to change your assumption about those things and they will change. But if you want to be quantum leaping in your manifestations, to really go from not having your SB to fully having them in your life committed to you, the change has to be quite drastic. And sometimes there are a lot of things in the middle that just need to go. And I see this so often with people that they get scared of who they are becoming, that they have the fear of all the things unfolding. Because even though they are great, it is also the unknown. And the subconscious is always scared of the unknown. So you might self-sabotage, or you might just stay where you are and then feel stuck. And you feel like, oh, I had so much momentum, and then you just feel stuck. Or maybe you just don't know how to balance all the things. If I give you the example with my own YouTube channel, I was on such a roll at the beginning of the year, then I had so many opportunities for travel and meeting new friends and doing things that I was so excited to do. I didn't know how to balance the two. So then one fell off and then I felt sort of stuck because I was like, well, how come that I'm not seeing the next step, the next movement for me to take or to do? Because you have to learn who this new person is. You have to fall in love with who you are becoming. And that is so exciting, but it can also be very scary. And this is not to say that, well, then you have to choose one or the other. Of course, you can take things with you, but it is also about listening to yourself and listening to your intuition, following what your heart says. Sometimes it really is about letting go. And I don't know if this is the Mercury retrograde happening at the moment, but I've had quite a few clients that the past couple weeks, they've had to say goodbye to some old friends. Friends that they've had for years because they just weren't aligning anymore. They didn't like who they were becoming. And so there was constant friction. And they just thought, if I keep attracting all of these opportunities and meeting people that are so aligned with who I'm becoming and who I want to be, maybe holding on to the things in the past is just not going to help me. And this is also what we say about your memories and your assumptions. You have to let go of the past because the past does not predict the future. Just because something happened in the past, it doesn't mean that that exact same thing is going to happen in the future. In fact, you create your own future with your own thoughts and beliefs that you have been building on with your self-concept. The more you change your self-concept, the more your beliefs change. They go hand in hand together. They are basically the same thing. But this can bring a lot of fear. And the same thing happens when you are manifesting your SP. If you are manifesting, let's say, for example, someone that you've had a history with, whether this was a situationship, a crush, a friend, or an ex, it doesn't matter. You've had some experiences with that person and it's making you think, oh, they are this way, they are that way. Oh, but they are avoidant. Oh, but they don't like this, they don't like that. They said that they didn't like this about me. If you carry all of those things and try to take them into the future, you're just going to have the exact same result that you had in the past. If you change all of these assumptions and you change all of the things around it, and you truly believe that you are loved, that you are worthy, yet you are chosen, of course you are prioritized, then the future can only be a whole new outcome that you didn't have before. And I understand that this can be so triggering. In my journey, I have also changed the friendships, I've changed the houses, I've changed jobs when I was working in corporate, but I've had to say goodbye to so many things that in the moment, it really felt like it was so important to me that I was going to need and I was still going to want to have this person in my life, for example. Many years ago, when I started this whole manifestation thing in manifesting my dreams and seeing things change, I had a really, really good friend and we were together every single day. When we weren't together, we were on the phone together. But then eventually, they stayed stuck in that same old life that they had, and I kept moving along and I kept changing and I kept evolving to the point that this person just couldn't recognize me anymore. And it was so sad to have this conversation and to see that we had grown apart, and I resisted it for so long. Every birthday I would be like, no, but I really love this person, I really want to spend time with them. And then as soon as we parted ways, I could feel this heaviness of like, I can't have this person in my life anymore. Not because they were a bad person, but because we had changed so much by this point. And it was heartbreaking because they had held me through so many tough moments when I was at university and just after that as well. When I was trying to look for my first job, they were always there and I was always there for them. And I felt like, well, if I let that go, then I'm not gonna have anyone. But when I let that go, as they say that the universe abhors a vacuum, someone new came into my life and a new friend and then another new friend. Because then there is a space for growth as well. There is space for new people to come in. So the fear of who you are becoming and the fear of having to let go of the past and people and things that you are really holding on to in this 3D world is so normal. I am here to say that is so normal, but that is also one of those fears that you just have to push through. It is getting you outside of your comfort zone, and it helps you grow and it helps you evolve, and it helps you get the things that you want so much faster too. The more you hold on to things that are no longer aligned for you, the faster your other manifestations come in. Because now you're creating the space for the seed to grow, the plant to grow, whatever you want to call it. If your manifestation is like putting that seed in the ground, you letting go of the weeds and watering it by doing the work then makes that plant grow. I hope I'm making sense with this analogy. So when this comes up for me or for my clients or for anyone that I know of, I always recommend EFT tapping. It really helps lower that anxiety, lower that fear, and be able to rewire that belief of like, oh, if I don't have this person, then I'm really going to struggle. Or if I don't have this job, then who am I going to be? Or even just applying for that other job, or leaving this house, or even starting to look for another house somewhere else. Those are the little things that make such a huge difference in your manifestations, because you are taking aligned action. It is that bridge of incident that Neville talks about. Your subconscious is going to repave the path where you walk on. Instead of thinking that it has to be this very linear way, it's going to be like, well, if you let go of this thing, you are suddenly going to jump so far ahead. So do some tapping. You just need to tap on the different points and say that you let it go, that you are safe, that things are going to work out for the best, that the better it gets, the better it gets. Whatever works for you, even if you want to be tapping your affirmations, that also helps because it helps them go into a bit more of the subconscious rather than just saying the words. Like I was saying in my previous video, affirmations just by themselves do not work. They have to get into the subconscious. It's your subconscious that changes everything, not your conscious word. So just do like a few rounds of tapping and it will let go of that stress, of that anxiety level, and you'd be able to let go so much faster. But also journal about this fear. Why are you so afraid of letting go of this? What are you making that mean? Because I know that for me, for example, whenever in the past I've had to let go of friends because of whatever reason, I've moved countries or whatever, there was always a sense of like, oh, but then what if I don't make any other friends? But what if you do? What if you meet someone even better? And this is also not to say that you just let go of anything and everything and every single person and you just never talk to them ever again. There are lots of people that I'm not aligned with, and from time to time there's like a happy birthday message or Merry Christmas or, oh, I saw that you got a puppy, how cute, right? Like you can have civil conversations, but you also know what your boundary is. There is that expression, I have no idea who said it, that you are sort of the amalgamation of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So choose wisely the time that you spend with the people around you. Do they inspire you? Do they make you feel good about yourself? Do they support you? Are they the type of relationships that you see in your future, that your future self would love to have? That version of yourself that has your SP, that believes that they are so loved and so everything, chosen and prioritized and whatever, do they still have these things that you're talking about? Do they still have those things that you are fearing letting go of? And if you really have a fear of who you are becoming, of who you are letting go of yourself, that version of yourself, I have a mini tapping that can really help with this, that I created for a couple clients earlier this year. You can send me a message and I will send it to you, simply because I literally just thought of it and I haven't made it accessible on my page just yet. But message me and I will definitely give you access to this. But you also can get my devotion frequency audio that is fully for free to get you to step into your most magnetic era. So even if you let go of past the friends or past the things that no longer align with you, this audio and this tapping is going to help you get to the next level and bring in so much goodness into your life. You have all of the details in the description, but I am here to remind you, you are completely safe, even as you keep working on your self-concept. The more you love yourself, the more you believe in yourself, the safer you are. Even if sometimes you feel a little bit of anxiety, just keep telling yourself that you are safe.